Hi, I'm Brian Nash from How We Got Here Genealogy, and in this video I'm going to talk about how anybody, and yes I mean anybody, can start the family tree right now, today, as soon as you're done watching this video. Um, so, now, why should you start your family tree? What are the benefits for you? Um, it's There's a couple reasons somebody might want to start a family tree. They are investigating their family heritage. There might be a person they're looking for, a person they're looking to connect with. Um, but honestly, to me, the best reason is it really helps put your life in perspective in a way. Gives you a historical context of your family, your family's experiences, puts them in a context of the people and the places on the historical timeline of the world. Um, it gives you a better understanding of the values that they've passed on to their sons and grandsons and granddaughters, and that they've passed on and to many generations. It gives you an understanding of why things in your family might be done a certain way, why you might have certain traditions that you don't know where they came from. Um, Gives you a sense of belonging to a community, a sense of knowing where you've come from. Like the name of my channel implies, it's not just about the geographical place, but it's also those communities and those values. Doing your family tree is just not about listing the names, the places, the dates in a format of so you know what happened when, but it's actually developing the story behind your family, developing a story that you can share with your children and your great children and future generations beyond that. So, at the beginning of the video, I promised that anybody would be able to start their family tree right away. And I really do mean anybody. Honestly, to start researching your family tree, you don't have to have any special equipment. You don't have to have any special skills. I mean, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're either watching it on your phone or your computer. That's the only real piece of equipment you need to get started. Sure, there are other things that can be helpful and down the line, but to get started, those two things will do you well. Um, and really, the skill, as long as you're willing to learn as you go along, and a lot of genealogy research is learning new things, because you're going to be dealing with different sources over time that you've never seen before, and you're going to develop your own expertise and your own skills. So there's not a lot of pre-existing skills you really need. In fact, if you can search your name in Google, you probably know enough to get started. So with that, let's get started. A wise man once told me that when you're starting anything, the best place to start is at the beginning. And I don't really want to discredit that wise man, because it was my father. My father gave me a lot of advice and a lot of wisdom he shared with me over the years. And even this piece of information here, most cases, the best place to start is the beginning. But when we're doing your family tree, we're actually going to work a little backwards in a way. We're going to start at the end. By that I mean, we're not going to start at the beginning of your family tree. We're not going to go to the family where your family started. We're going to start with you. So to help that along, I've included in my description here a link where you can sign up to get some free downloads of two worksheets, and when you fill out those worksheets, you're going to get the beginnings of your family tree, and you're going to get the beginning of what you need to do. And at this point, you're not going to be using any other thing other than your own knowledge. So the first sheet, which is right here, is just simply a, it looks like a lot of people would call this family tree. This is technically a pedigree sheet. Um, Difference between that and family tree, a family tree lists everybody, or as much people as you can. A pedigree chart is just the direct line of parent child, without any siblings in there. So you won't be listing your uncles and aunts at this point. You won't be listing your nieces and nephews. At this point, it's just simply yourself, your parents, your grandparents. You're not even going to have your spouse in here at this point if you have a spouse, or your children. But we're just going to start with that. And I have it set up to go to great grandparents because I know from talking to people, my experience, that's honestly where most people at the most can draw their family line. That's as far as they really know. And even at that great grandparent level, they don't necessarily know a lot. But what we're going to do is then with the second set of sheets, there's going to be one for each person. Now you can do it on these sheets. I know some people like doing in note cards, and the reason I recommend you doing it on paper and not just going right to a computer right away is just to start out. We want to just get that basic information so you start to understand what type of things that you're looking for in when you're doing your family tree. With that being started, you're going to have a great entry into the world of genealogy, and you haven't actually done any searching other than searching your memory. We aren't going to look at any other sources yet, and you're going to hear me. I'm going to talk a lot in future videos about sources, and all the different types of sources there are. But for now, the only source we're going to rely upon is yourself, which is in some cases one of the best sources you can have, at least for recent information. At the top of the video, I promised that everybody was going to be able to start a family tree right away. By filling out the information in the worksheets, you're going to have a real great solid foundation on building your family tree. You're going to be able to move on from there, as there's 8 branches that we're going to move on from. That you're going to expand that information and expand the knowledge, grow your family story. So you're going to have an expansive family story that you're going to be able to share with people. You're going to find people in your family you never heard about. But to do this, it takes a little more work than just going off what you already know. So in future videos, I'm going to help teach you and show you how to gather more information, where to look for more information, what type of information you should be looking for, how to record it, and what tools and resources there are out there for you. Because I want everybody to be able to have that experience of knowing where they came from. So if you've enjoyed this, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That notification bell is going to tell you when my next videos are available, which will be coming out soon, which I'm going to be following along this path and continuing to help you grow your family tree. So when we started our family tree, we started with this, a blank pedigree group. And now it's turned into this, the same grouping with a little bit more information filled out and a little bit of time. And we have the details that we're gathering on our ancestors here. Again, going back to 4 generations, including ourselves. And it's just the beginning. And with what we're learning, we're going to be able to make this and a lot more other great ways of presenting the information as we continue on our journey of creating your family tree. Until next time, thanks for paying attention and keep searching for your ancestors.